I've just pressed the button and it says go live. So I'll find out in a minute
So,
when I load this.
Hopefully we're live. As you can see, we've been messed about by lame does that has apps. Oh, hello.
A Monday club is never late, Jenny Kirk, nor is it early. It arrives precisely when it's allowed to by Windows, which was messing up.
Yes, now Gandalf.
Hello?
Not so loud.
Oh.
So, a big hello to you. Can't read your chat yet because Crapdos is still messing.
Chrome is completely messed.
Yeah,
it really didn't like what happened.
Do you know what really annoys me? Is it forced it to reboot. None of this, like, when it's convenient for you. You know, the person who actually bought the computer and is currently obviously using it to do a stream. No. It just blue screened and then went preparing security updates. It's like, really? Would you like a soldering iron in your CPU? Would that help you?
Well, the thing is, the computer didn't do it. Windows did it.
Yes. Yeah, if only there was another operating system that I could use.
If only there was a Linux that you liked.
If there was a Linux that didn't try and get all tech bro and unfathomable.
Unfathomable.
Yeah, so we're just waiting for the chat to come up. But it's really great to see you. I hope you're well. So today we're going to be talking about our sales. Good for the hobby. You might remember that we talked a little bit about this before, where we talked about were they bad for the hobby. We're going to try and take it from a different angle because we're running out of ideas for titles. But I'd also like to thank Model U, who have very kindly sent a mystery bunch of YouTubers for the Cupboard Monkey to paint up to put in YouTuber Corner.
Now,
so
I'm going to move this over.
Oh, don't worry, I'll make sure my skirt's pulled down.
Good. You do that. Good.
Oh, Jenny's undercrackers on display.
So if you hold them up to the...
Right, so we they didn't tell us who was who, and sometimes it's quite difficult when you
when they're not painted yet.
So this is one that was already on the go.
That was one I got. I bought that myself.
Yeah. Oh, would you like
what
to
have you just done?
Retrieve the
giant Jenny.
So that's the monkey.
A cupboard monkey.
The cupboard monkey.
A monkey of cupboards.
I can't just say they said a huge Jenny. Huge.
Yes, Jenny in 1 to 12 scale, I would believe.
1 to 12.
I don't know. I'm just making stuff up.
So we appear to have the Jenny in. They also sent O gauge. I think this is O gauge.
That is an O gauge Jenny.
And they also sent the new pose Jenny
in double O.
In double O. So
thank you, Model Zone.
Model U.
Model Zone. Oh my goodness, there's a blast from your ass.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Oh my goodness.
So they also sent. We think we've worked out this is Buggle Skelly.
That's Buggle Skelly Station, yes.
Yeah. So Buggle Skelly Station.
That one is Worthington Model Railways.
So Worthington Model Railway. I'm just seeing whether any of them are in. So Worthington Model Railway.
Yes.
They're going in YouTuber Corner as well. And
that is SHGP Media.
SHGP Media. Are they in?
I don't know.
None of the people that we've got here.
They'll see it. Don't worry.
There we go. I'm just waiting to see if any of them are in. So you're going in YouTuber Corner eventually when painted. And then we have Lord Al.
Yes, Dragon Junction.
Dragon Junction.
So we will be moving the lav and bringing Lord Al with it into the main area.
Lord Al will be standing proud, holding court in front of his privy.
Yes.
Worthington is in. So Worthington, you go in YouTube Corner. And there's somebody else. If anybody can...
I'm trying to find... I recognise them. I don't know who it is either.
Wait, I don't know whether we can really focus on that. It's quite tricky. But we're going to see whether we can work out who that is. So, who have we got?
They've got their hair up at the back.
Yes. Worthington Model Railway says, I was scanned at Worley back in 2022. Sarah Davis says, Model U don't have enough plastic to print my stomach. I know that feeling. It's like when on the 3D printer...
They can print a massive scale Jenny who's going in somewhere as a statue.
Right on track says, Birch from Rusty Rails. CRN Gage says, hello Jenny and Zoe, sitting here with my new red badge. Thank you very much. Looks great. Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much. Should we have the camera pointing at...
At you.
Yes.
I've heard that people
Yeah.
might want to see you on your show.
Up Well and Onward says, hello, Jenny and Zoe from New Zealand. How is everyone?
My goodness.
We're all right. I don't know. Are we coming to you in the middle of the night? I'm not sure what time it is in New Zealand.
Coming at you through your vents.
Flymo Chairman 1 says it's Lord Al's privilege. After all, I'll get my coat. Chobberton Junction, hello to you. Leslie Gilpin Railways. Madden Steam Railways, it's a couple of weeks to the London Festival of Railway Modelling at Ali Pali. Are you going this year? Will I ever see Minith Tattoos? Minith Tattoos did do Ali Pali a few years ago now. With Les, actually. We let him out from the modelling dungeon and he came along to help out. There's quite a few years ago now. Greetings from Hungary, says Go For It Painting. Great to see you, I hope you're well. But yeah, this year, no firm plans at the moment. I haven't had an invite from anybody. It's like, it sounds mercenary, but yeah, no, I tend to...
It's not about being mercenary, Jen. It's the fact that, and we saw this on the Saturday and Sunday when we were saying Jen will be back. She's had to walk off to do something, so she'll be back in an hour and a half.
An hour to get that down the
yeah,
aisle.
and that's it. There's no problem with us going to shows, but we don't get to see the show anymore.
And Rick Morley reminds us it's Model Rail Scotland this weekend. I've only been once. I displayed the upside down layout as part of the promotion for Hornby Model World Series 1. And you know what? For 3 days, because Model Rail Scotland is a 3-day show, worked flawlessly. Simon Pitcher says, got scanned at Getz last year, painted but not on the layout yet. Indie Spaniel says, can't believe Accurascale are not doing London. And the problem is that it is quite expensive for any retailer or manufacturer, because not only do they have to pay for their pitch, but they also have to pay for transport, they have to pay for accommodation, food, plus people are members of staff, so they're getting paid as well.
Yeah.
So you can... Oh, yes. Yaharic, yes, we are doing the Bluebell model show. So look out for us there. I think it's in July at some point. I forget the precise date. But it'll be a rare foray for us down to the south with a layout. We did the Rattery Little Train show a couple of years ago, which is down in... is it Devon or is it still in Somerset? Newton Abbot. Devon. It's near Newton Abbot. And that was actually great. It was so many Monday clubbers went, did a double take and went, what are you doing here?
You get around a bit, don't you?
Ben Tullett says, Jenny saw a fine collection of Monday Club wagons on a goods train on the layout at the Whalley Open Day. Posted it to the Monday Club Facebook group. Ooh, I have to look out for that. Yeah, they do get around. New Junction, hello to you. There we are. We got it. There we are. So, New Junction. What about...
New Junction.
So there we are. OO Gauge Journey, big hello to you. RG Models 86 says, I want to go to Model Rail Scotland just because I've never been to Scotland yet. How have you never been to Scotland? It's just over there. There. We haven't got a compass up here. David J, hello to you. John Pinney as well says, absolutely anth. Bill Bremner and all that. J. Paul Anderson says, hi Jenny. A week ago I bought an example of the Hellion Rails gas turbine 18,000. Lovely model throughout. Oh wow. Jordan Hunter asks, did you get the TARDIS that I sent in the post, Jenny? Did we get a TARDIS? I don't believe we did.
I don't think so.
When did you post it? Because post has been intermittent here.
Yeah.
But do let us know when you post it. We haven't got it yet. Retro Ramble says, do we have a sponsor? Roll VT. Oh, right. So, yeah, it's a good point, actually.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
What do you mean now?
Press it.
Oh, okay.
Monday Club, your online model rail club for all the news, gossip, layout tours and more with your host, broadcaster and model maker, Jennifer Kirk.
The Monday Club is proudly sponsored by TMC, the Model Centre. Check them out at themodelcentre.com. The website features extensive stocks of new models as well as selective pre-owned items where you can track down that bargain you've always wanted. Pre-order with confidence all of the forthcoming models from all the manufacturers. TMC also offer a renumbering and renaming service so you can get the exact identity of locomotive that you want. Why not also check out their value weathering, or go for something incredibly special with their bespoke service where you can choose from a more extensive weathered look right through to custom graffiti either off the peg or to a design of your choice. Check out TMC today at themodelcentre.com and start your model journey.
And guess who's back?
Yeah. A derailed train is what's back. It's like, I
Hey,
see
if we're
you're
going to have one
busy.
thing go wrong tonight, we've got to have everything go wrong.
Yeah, it's like, I see you're really busy. Oh, let me distract you.
please?
So, Chris Eden Green, great to see you. Hope you're well. Warbler Productions is the TARDIS in front of the Gronk in the yard near the girder bridge. Yes, we forget.
Oh my goodness.
He's got the program running. Enhanced 32 to 48. Beep, 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 beep.
Doctor located. So, Jen, what else is on this table with us?
Well, we've also got, we got this at the Doncaster show. So this was from the Deltic Preservation Society. Still plays with trains. That seems to be perfectly on message. So we got one of these. And just been drinking tonight's beverage of choice, which appears to be some kind of mocha.
It was a
asked for
green triangle mocha. No,
Green-
you asked for coffee when I said I was going to have one.
I don't remember.
No, of course you
Chehalis
don't.
Valley Rail Production says only one show within a reasonable distance of me this year. Not going to lie, I'm a little bummed out. Oh, I know there's a few places in the world where it is a barren wasteland
I
without
got a little
shows.
bummed out once, but
What?
I went to the hospital for it.
Oh. And they said nobody ends up at A&E with something accidentally in their bottom.
No, they said, look, constipation happens to everyone.
Yes. So, JL Railways
I have no idea what I'm talking
says,
about.
oh yes, I've got 9007 pins a Deltic mug. The Aylesmead Project, good evening to you. Luke Craig says, evening all. Bobbed into Ellis Clark on Saturday. Loved it in there. Great shop.
It's a
and
lovely
amazing
shop,
stuff. BR Black Crab added to the collection. There's so much great stuff. I need to actually frisk them
I
today.
have to not go to Ellis Clark because every time I go in there, I come out with something.
They've got a website. You can just order it.
Shh.
Oh, I've got to keep an eye for Gronks, but people keep beating me to it. Andy says, evening all, TMC. Yes, my go-to place for my N-gauge. Give them a try, guys. Absolutely.
I do go to and have a look around TMC's website as well.
Oh,
as well,
yes.
and like, oh my goodness, there's still
Absolutely.
too much there.
And there was it JL Railways made out like a bandit with their Monday Club discount, buying a second-hand a Union of South Africa, fully sound-fitted, from the Hornby Commonwealth collection, and saved far more than the badge cost. You can't say fairer than that, can you?
You can't do it.
Oh, hello, Iron Horse Railways. Great to
Get
see you.
well
Hope you're
soon,
well.
Iron Horse.
CP Model Railway says, I can't go to Ali Pally. I'm on call at work and can't swap around.
Aww.
ORL Journey says, just watched Iron Horse Railways video on the 31. Get well soon. Yeah. You got
a
the
bit of
dreaded
the snuffles.
lurgy. There is stuff going round, but he does
he's got
seem
the-
to have been struck down
He's
hard.
got the sneezels.
Richard Knowles says, bought a few more bargain locos, 220s from Rails of Sheffield and 257s from Clark Railworks, all for the same price, a brand new deluxe locomotive. Big hello to 3B Rail as well. Great to see you. Hermitage Road, Will Tucker, Maura King, Ham Shuckton, JTG Werewolf, John Penny says, how many Gronks do you have now?
Too many.
I think they're talking to somebody else, but I know that I've got a lot. So 24, 25, 26, 27. 27, not including the Class 13. I always find the Class 13, do I count that as 2 Gronks or 1 Gronk? Or... Yes. So I've got, what did I say, 24?
Too many.
I've got 27 plus a Class 13.
Right,
Beth G says only 2, 1 last week and 1 this week. And our PN Motorsport trains, absolutely, never too many Gronks. Gronk it up! Gronk it up! Gronk it up! Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes.
Jen, what's in the news this week?
In the news, why do you just ask me that out of the blue? We haven't talked about it. I don't know. Well, I honestly don't know. I think there was an announcement from a Curacao.
Isn't that supposed to be part of your job to know what's going on so you could talk about it on your show?
Job? It's like you say that like I get paid or something.
You do.
Doing this. What do you mean I do?
You get paid in kind.
What does that even mean?
It means that you get to
we
sleep
weren't
in the same
fishing.
bed.
We weren't fishing. But thank you so much, JL Railways.
Oh my goodness!
Very
you.
kindly donated £4.99 on the super chat.
You.
Says, "Oh, I did make out like a bandit, Jenny, and she's running beautifully on the layout as we speak."
I really
Excellent.
thought that you already had it because he was like, I hope she's not too upset with me.
DL Warren says, "I've put myself on loco buying ban until I've got a usable layout. Watch that go out the window when Glasgow comes." Oh yes. Anthony says, "Jenny, is that one of the new 08s on the layout?" Yeah, it's where's it got? Yeah, there is an 08 going round somewhere, but we've also got the 09, the sports Gronk. So there's
the
two.
Gronk Turbo Motif.
So it's 08 748, I think it is, and also 09 019. 2 of the ones that I bought at Doncaster. I bought 3 in total, but that's 2 of them. David J says, "I wouldn't dare to visit Ellis Clark trains. I just wouldn't be able to resist. Black 5, those amazing Pullmans, they're second-hand loco bargains. Oh my, I could create my own fiscal black hole." But remember, if you got your Monday Club badge, you do get a discount in-person shopping.
Yes.
Sarah Davis, Le Gronk of Grand Vitesse.
The Gronk Motif.
Yeah.
That's how I always said.
Big hello to Tarocco 00 Railways. Great to see you. Vicky Lawless says, "Hi everyone, sorry Gandalf, just a little late this time."
So, a Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. New Junction has asked, did we decide if sales are good for the hobby? Not yet.
We haven't actually got to that.
We haven't got. I keep getting interrupted. But the thing about this is I worry a little bit, and I can see this from both sides. Now let's talk about the good things. Sales mean that those people who are perhaps on a stricter budget are able to pick up models that they might have otherwise not been able to afford. I think that, that is great. And the number of times I've gone and, like Frisk Hereford Model Centres, bargain section, no, my bargains!
No, my bargains!
Says Mark Wilson somewhere in his garage. But, it's great. It's a real feel-good feeling. But I always wonder, is it equally as feel-good for the retailer? And having talked with a lot of retailers, sometimes there's a bit of nervousness about stocking certain items when they're announced or when they come out, because there's a worry, well, what happens if, say, a smaller shop stocks a model and then, for whatever reason, they've still got some on the shelves 3-4 months down the line, and the manufacturer decides, we're having a sale, clear the warehouse, flash sale. And all of a sudden, the price which everybody else is selling that model at is actually more than they paid originally to stock it. And I've seen this happen a few times. And I think it's something that manufacturers need to be very acutely aware of. That if you have a big sale where there's a drastic cut in price, I think a lot of people might ask, why does there need to be a sale? Why not set the price accordingly to start with? So that, I doubt very much that manufacturers are selling these things at a loss. Or if they are, then that really is worrying. But Simon Trades Model Railway Showcase says, did you see Hereford Model Centre at Doncaster? Just one day want to go past them and say, no, me bargains. I have talked to them. Matt Ovell says, Tim Krinsky missed you last week, but thank you for the gift. So, of course, yes, last week. New Junction says, price fixing is illegal.
Doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Yeah, but I think that there is an element that... what are we looking at?
I'm setting the
You're scrolling stuff around.
I had to do the stuff.
I wouldn't say it's price fixing, but I think that sometimes manufacturers do need to be aware that some of the smaller retailers might have...
Can't take the hits like that.
Yeah, and I've heard from retailers that I've talked to about this when there's been like big fire sales. And they said that people would be ringing up and saying, oh, well, why don't you price match with Hattons or wherever? And the honest truth is they can't, because they would then be selling that model at a loss. And you can't, as a small business, take that hit.
Oh, you can't. And there's only so many times that you can actually be called up and asked that before you think, is it really worth stocking for this manufacturer? Because I get burnt. Yeah,
I think that the issue is that without the retailers, the hobby will always struggle, and it's not really for the big ticket items. I don't think that there will ever be an issue for the big. When I say big ticket, like locomotives, and to a large extent stuff like rolling stock and coaches, freight wagons, that kind of thing. But it's the little things, I think, that your paints. If you don't have a high street presence, then getting paints can be quite tricky.
Yeah, because you can't send certain
But then
things.
it's all the other little bits. When we were at Doncaster, I got some brass wire for making handrails. And
you're going to get that through the post because it's going to get bent.
And then there's like all the other little bits and pieces. Thank you so much, JL Railways. Very kindly sent another $1.99 on Super Chat. Thank you so much. Says, Jenny, what's your view on renumbered A4s? I'll be honest, I've got a few. It has to be done well. And this, I think, oh, thank you so much, Mike Ray. Very kindly sent $9.99. Says, buy a Ginty and Ginty it up for a change. Oh, thank you so much. I do actually have some Ginties. The one that I really like is, they announced one in, I think it's black, but with the large number on the tank, which looks really nice. And that's sort of like an early LMS, so almost like a Midland Railway style, but it is from the early LMS period. I've got one in maroon that they did as a special a long time ago, but yeah, I do have some Ginties. But what were we talking about? We were
talking about your fixation on Gronks and how actually you might have a bit of a problem.
No, renumbering A4s. Yeah, I've got a few. My Silver King is actually a TMC rename and renumber. I bought them second hand, but definitely, I remember Silver King. I also, Lord Farringdon is another one, which I got. And I actually bought them through Clark Railworks second hand, but it was TMC professionally done. Really did a nice job on them. It's a great way of getting models where, for example, with things like A4s, manufacturers seem almost allergic to releasing certain ones in certain liveries. So, Silver Fox, where is Hornby, Backman, where's Silver Fox in BR Green? I don't know whether it got BR Blue, but if it did, then yeah, tickety-boo. Sir Ralph Wedgwood as well. I actually ended up getting a renumber of Sir Charles Newton to get the BR version. Wow. That's another one that's been tricky.
Right, before you go any further, I've got a message here from Gemma Ball. It says, hi, my husband Steve Ball watches the Monday Club every Monday. He's 40 on the 21st of February. Would you guys be able to give him a birthday message saying your wife has contacted us and has let us know that you're 40 on the 21st and wish him a happy birthday?
Hold on.
I believe we can.
Your wife has contacted us.
We know. we know about your secret that you're 40 on the 21st.
I remember being 40. It's Happy birthday to you. Squash tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you. Right, can you scroll it back up? There were some comments coming in I do want to read.
Sure.
Out. Chris Eden Green.
Hang on.
Right, okay. I'll do my...
I'm painting these dudes for your dude list.
The doodlingers. Right.
The doodlingers.
Let's see, can I find it? I did see... Chris Eden Green, there we are. From my own sales, yes, a sale can be nerve-wracking if people just come to expect it. And we've talked about this a lot, actually. Frequent sales... it's the Ben and Jerry's effect, where nobody in their right mind buys Ben and Jerry's at full price because it's so often in a sale.
Plus next week it'll be on sale.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of devalues the product. And I see a lot of these sales with, particularly Bachman at the moment, quite a few of the electric multiple units. And I do feel in a way that it makes it very difficult in the future because, hear me out on this. What tends to happen if there's too many sales is people come to expect them, and that's what Chris is saying. So equally, expecting everyone to pay a high premium could price some people out of the market.
Yes,
it's a balance, and that comes back to the initial market price. What we were talking about before, where sometimes smaller shops get left with stock on the shelf, and then a sale comes along, and actually they cannot afford to sell the existing stock that they supported the manufacturer at the start by stocking. They cannot afford to sell them at the sale prices because to do so would be to sell at a loss, and they can't afford
physically
that.
do that. There's no way.
And it then means that it's less likely that they will stock the same sort of things in the future because, right, if you get burnt on, on
let's say
the new three-toed Whoppet.
Yeah.
You've stocked 3 of them. Maybe you sold 2. There's 1 left on the shelf. And then suddenly 3-toed Whoppets are being fire sailed out, and you know that actually you'll struggle to sell anymore. There's no point in stocking more because you just won't sell them. And anyway, you've still got that one on the shelf that isn't selling. And you paid, say you paid £100, and it's you've got it priced at 150, say, just pulling numbers out of my head, and then the fire sale is such that actually everybody else is now selling it at £90, but you can't price match because you paid 100 for it. And if you were in the habit of stocking stuff and then selling it at less than what you paid for it, you very quickly go out of business.
Yeah,
and I think, and I think the risk is if there are too many sales, it's an indication that manufacturers that are frequently doing these big sales are actually. It becomes damaging for the value of a product, the perceived value, because again, it's that Ben and Jerry's thing. People almost come to expect a sale. As Chris Eden Green said about this, you don't want people to just think, if I hang on for a couple of months, there'll be a sale. I'll just buy it then.
This is what I say a lot about games. Like I go to Valve for their Steam sales.
Let's
and I buy a load of games.
Let's have a different angle.
If I do that all the time, I see people say, "Oh, this game looks good. I'll wait for it in the sale."
Yeah. Speloy Kier says, "For models I really want and think will be popular, sell out quickly, I will buy when released. Others I'll wait for sales or until they appear second hand."
See, it happens here as well as in games.
Project Northgate says it's a bit like the Oxford Rail mystery boxes. I wanted an Oxford Ploughman's engine. It was cheaper to get it in the mystery box than buy it off the shelves. And this is the problem.
It's such a worry for a manufacturer.
And it's something that I think it was Walls. I seem to know an inexplicable amount about the food business, but bear with me here.
But you do transport 20 tons of turnips to Tesco every now and again.
But I think it was a guy from Walls was saying about this, and he says that if you discount a product too heavily, too frequently, you actually damage the perceived value of that product.
Yes.
And people come to believe it's only worth what it costs in the sale. It's a bit like the DFS sofa sale. Who ever went to DFS and bought a sofa at full price? Nobody. And like, who were they kidding about? The DFS sofa sale. It's like, no, that's just the normal price that these sofas sell for. You know, that's the whole thing. And the problem is that when you see frequent sales, I think, yes, as an enthusiast, as a purchaser of models, it's great. Make out like a bandit. But I think it's potentially risky ground for the manufacturers, because what will happen now is next time Bachmann think about releasing a Class 422 or a 411, people go, they're only worth 200 quid because that's what they ended up in the sales at.
Yeah.
Southern Triangle, right. What you've got to remember is that there's the split chassis models avoid like the plague, and the Silver Fox in BR Green in the Elizabethan set is a split chassis model, so it's out of the picture. I'm only interested in the DCC ready
in the ones
versions,
that you can actually use. Yeah.
and that doesn't include the Hornby Railroad version. So it's a bit of a narrow window, although the very first, it seems, of the Hornby Super Detail A4s was actually Quicksilver, which is a weird one. It's like not many people know about it. It was done, it seems, as a special for Littlewoods. Remember them?
I do. The catalogue people.
Yeah. But Hornby have actually released quite a lot over the years, but they have never done Silver Fox or Silver Link, I think it is, for that matter. Silver Link, I think, is another one which I got a rename and renumber in the Super Detail version. Bachmann only recently, as far as I know, the only BR liveried A4s that Bachmann have done with the more modern tooling with the DCC ready chassis is let's have a think. Which was Wild Swan. What was the other one? I've got Samura Wilson as well, but I think that
let him go home. His family miss him.
Yeah, no, I think Samura Wilson might be a renumber from a Wild Swan. Funny enough, thinking about it, they did a Sir Nigel Gresley. I think they did a Mallard as well. But actually, there's not that many of the Bachmann ones. PN Motorsport Train says some sales are some stock that's been sitting for years though and not selling.
Yeah, I get that, and that's fine.
And in some respects, is that I get sometimes you get this sort of end of line clearance. That's fine, but I'm seeing at the moment a lot more regular sales. It's almost like 50% off sales. It's better than 50% off sales. Fire sales, flash sales. And I think some of the big retailers do have the buying power to buy up lots of stock. So from their point of view, and this is something that smaller retailers can't afford to do. So imagine you've stocked your three-toed Woppets. You've sold 2, one's left. Big sale on the horizon. So your rep from your manufacturer of the 3-toed Woppet comes around and says, we're going to be having stock warehouse clearance on this. How many do you want? And you go, well, actually,
your answer is none.
I can't really afford to. They're not going to sell. So you just don't have the reach to sell hundreds of them. So what happens is that the bigger shops go, yeah, well, look, okay, tell you what, we've still got, say, 20 of the 3-toed Woppets on the shelf, but we sold 80. So actually, in the grand scheme of things, we can afford to take a little bit of a hit on these. However, we reckon we can sell another 200 at the lower price. So we'll take 200 at the lower price, mix the 20 we've still got in, get them all out the door, and we're still quids in. And I think that that's where some of the difficulties come in. And you do wonder, should manufacturers do better market research on what they need to sell a model for to make a profit, but also effectively average out that price and think, well, okay, instead of selling, say, 60% of the production run at this high price point, and then another 30% at this price point, and the final 10% down here, what if we average all that out? So we sell the entire production run at this different price. So we make the same amount of money, but there's no sale. So people then don't get this perception that, there'll be a sale on the way, so we'll just make out like a bandit then. And because that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We've talked about this before.
But I want to talk about it from a different angle. I'm not a model railway person. I like trams and I like building models. I'm a modeler rather than a railway person.
Yeah.
But I want something to go on my models, except in those circumstances where it's not a tram. So I'm not that keen on having the greatest thing ever with the latest bangs and whistles. So I'll wait and have something from a sale. I like that. What's up?
Cameron Patterson says, "Hi Jennifer, will DCC Concepts have the Monday Club badges?" Not sure, to be honest.
Don't think so.
Gary Morris says, "I bet they never released Dominion of Pakistan." Actually, there never was. There never would have been, because Pakistan is a country that was formed after India got independent. So Pakistan, modern day India, and Bangladesh, those three countries are what historically, when people talk about the days of the British Empire in India, those three countries were India, and what happened was they got split up. Originally, Bangladesh was East Pakistan, so Pakistan and Bangladesh were actually the same country.
Yeah.
And it created a very strange situation where you had a country with another country in the middle, which was a bit strange. But anyway, Les Kirk says, "What's with the three-toed Woppet?" I'm sorry.
Everyone wants a three-toed Woppet.
Oh yeah,
but
all the cool kids.
But not
got
at the prices that the Woppet manufacturers are pumping out.
Yeah. Pakistan was there would never have been Dominion of Pakistan. There's no such thing.
Yeah, it would never have happened.
So the Commonwealth named locomotives only ever were and only ever would have been Union of South Africa, Commonwealth of Australia, Dominion of Canada, Dominion of New Zealand, and Empire of India. They were the only ones. Wamgok, it is a fair point. Manufacturers may need to have a fire sale because of cash flow. Yeah,
that's fair.
It is fair, but it's one of those things that... oh my word, sorry, I completely missed. 156 Andrew Shortbread Express very, very kindly donated £2 on the super chat. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, guys, thank you.
But it kind of business. Nobody ever said business is an easy thing where it's like you do this, this, and this, and you'll be rich.
If it was that easy, we'd all be.
Yeah, if it was that easy, we'd all be multi-millionaires. It's. They always say that hindsight is always 20/20, but looking forward is nothing but fuzzy. And it's true that with the best intentions, you're effectively trying to predict how many of a certain item you're going to sell at a certain price. And sometimes they get it absolutely right. Sometimes they get it very, very wrong. And you have situations, it can go both ways. So let's say the C-Class, when Bachmann first introduced the C-Class locomotive, they dipped their toe in the water and did number 592 in that really nice, ornate South Eastern and Chatham Railway livery. Now, I've been told, I don't know what the truth of this is, but I've been told that actually they did 150 because they were not quite sure whether they'd sell. They thought, just see what happens. Don't want to be left with unsold stocks. They did a lower than normal number.
Oh, is this because they hadn't brought in that era before?
Yeah, it was untested at the time, and they it sold so well that they were actually trading on the eBay for around £550 was the highest price I saw. This is on a model that I think the RRP at the time was $69.99. So that's a huge markup, and that was basically because they weren't sure whether it would sell, so they did a low number, and you could argue massively underestimated demand.
Easily done when you haven't done it before.
And we see a lot of that with must-have items. The LNER coronation coaches sold out really, really quick. Ilmson TT says, then be careful with TT120. Some stock is sold out after 4 hours. And that's one of the issues with the method of production. It's not like the old days where they could just like go, the three-toed Whoppet seems to be selling very, very well. One moment. And just open a door. Make some more of the three-toed Whoppets. Oh, okay. And like they crank them out of a machine in the back room, sort of thing.
Yeah, you
now
can't
everything's
do that.
batch production in China. And incidentally, in the news, some of the issues with delays are down to quite simply trying to get production slots in the factories in China. It's not a rapid reaction thing. So you're having to predict how many you're going to sell way in advance and book your factory slots accordingly. And it's not very flexible. If you get suddenly overwhelming demand for a particular product, the only way you can increase production is actually by taking away from another model. And we have seen of late some of the announced models getting cancelled, and I suspect that's because of very, very healthy demand for a different model. The J15 in Great Eastern Railway purple is a case in point. They've cancelled the British Railways black, the British Railways spelt out in full on the tender, and I honestly think that's because there's been such a demand for the J15 in Great Eastern Railway purple that they've gone, actually, we'll increase that production run. That was a prudent thing to do. And they must be pretty much certain at this point. Thank you so much, Richard Brighton. Very kindly donated £5 on the super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Says, sorry, we won't have the badges available at Glasgow or Alexandra Palace as we will be supporting our dealers. KM's S at Glasgow and Malk's at Alexandra Palace.
Not just that, but he hasn't got them because they're in my pocket.
Yeah. Stevie Phil says, someone told the Chinese factory to overmake APT coaches. That's another thing. We're seeing massive fire sales now of, what's going on over here?
Yeah, so to a certain extent, no manufacturer is going to go, right, we're cancelling this locomotive that we've announced. We've put all that money into tooling. We've got the slot. We've bought the slot in the factory. Everything's ready to go. We're cancelling it. They're not doing that just because. They're doing it because something else is going to sell better.
Yeah.
There's no two ways around this.
I'm just going to bear with me. I need to get a Gronk.
Okay.
Because
that's just how it is. So at the moment, I'm painting up these dudes. I can't really show you too much. This is Jenny in O gauge. It's going to go on one of her O gauge layouts. Probably not in the garden because I don't think it'll survive the intense sunlight, but certainly her indoor one, and that'll be nice. But I'm using Citadel's paint because it works really well on the 3D printed stuff. The stuff from Citadel is amazing for this, and it allows me to do it quick because it quick dries.
Can I just say that I don't know which shows Buggle Skelly Station is at. Buggle Skelly Station also Sawyer models. If you find them at shows, they do have some. Also, it's worth saying that, West Hill Wagon Works still have some badges. West Hill Wagon Works has the green ones. Buggle Skelly Station, when I last spoke to him, had both green and maroon. Come on, you.
That's pretty good. Are you having trouble with your Gronks?
Yeah, I'm having trouble with Gronks. I don't know what's going on here.
Naughty Gronk.
Naughty Gronk. Naughty Gronk.
Not a
Hashtag,
cult.
yeah, hashtag going to get slapped in a moment.
At least we know what the next Jenny Kirk limited edition wagon will be. The infamous three-toed Whoppet. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Get your orders in now.
I know that Les Kirk, a.k.a. Dad, has been commenting in the comments. And can I just say that the invention of the three-toed Whoppet, I will happily... work! Damn you, work!
I am.
Bloody, not you.
As fast as I can.
Not you.
Oh, I don't have to work. Okay. Tra-la-la-la-la.
See you later, AD. It's been great having your company. Says Nighthall, Tar Muchley for the live stream. Keep safe.
Take care.
Absolutely. Castle Hill Light Railway says definitely not a cult. Whoppets on the other hand. Just looking back through the 57305 Northern Princess. Hornby cancelled the Queen Adelaide Royal Scot train coach. I was so excited for it to run with the Lion, then they cancelled it. You may find that, unfortunately, just weren't selling it well enough on pre-order, and it may well be that they needed the production slot for something else. It does happen. Warbler Production says the really big Jenny looks to be in 16mm or 1/20th scale, so should fit in the Mammoth steam loco. Might melt though.
They could drive one of the carts.
Yeah. Alan Reynolds of Buckland Junction. Good evening, Jen and Zoe. Hi to all fellas in the chat. I think I'm late. Oh, hold on. Gandalf.
Stop hitting me, stop hitting me.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to. What is that noise, Jennifer Cock?
I've got a squealing Gronk.
It sounds like an aircraft coming into the land.
So,
It's an aircraft. It sounds like a mosquito coming into land.
I've got a squealing Backman Gronk. This was something that did afflict some of the earlier ones. That sounds like it's about to seize up.
Can you stop it?
Yeah, give me a moment. I'm just watching the power draw on the layout. It's not changing.
If it explodes, it's your fault. My goodness. My ears don't like you anymore.
Yeah. That was incredibly...
That was very, very noisy.
What?
What?
What was that about?
What?
Oh dear. We seem to be having a spate of naughty Gronks.
Naughty Gronks.
Naughty Gronks.
See, this is what happens when you don't give them their diesel shunter outing night. They need Shuntfest. Shuntfest 25. We need it.
Peter Jackson Jill Heath says, I think Boggle Skelly are at Glasgow. It wasn't a turbo motive. It wasn't a dentist drill. SHGP Media says, I make the same noise when I get out of bed. Les Kirk says, thank you, John Panic. I'm well. I've started a Whoppetry extravaganza. Les Kirk invented the three-toed Whoppet, as far as I know. Or at least, if he got it from somewhere like the Goons, he didn't let on. So a little window on my childhood there. Dr. Deborah Catherine Stevenson Jones says, forthcoming video on Gronk servicing. And there appears to be kind of like a point at which you get resonance in the gear train of the earlier Bachmann Gronks. I've had it, my Engineer's Grey one does that, strangely enough. But I've actually got it now running the other way and hoping that it kind of sorts itself out. Rick Morley says, sorry, I've got to go. It's 009 Society meeting tonight. It's our last meeting before Glasgow. See you if you're at Glasgow. I'll be on the 009 Society stand Friday and Saturday.
Take care. Have a good night.
So, look... Plymouth North Road Station. Hi, Jenny and Sarah. How do I send you a video of my layout? You need to send us a link, not the actual video. If you put it as an attachment, it won't come through. But send us a link to somewhere like YouTube where you have your video. It's got to be your video, not somebody else's. You have to have permission to share it with us. And then email that with Monday Club in the title. That helps the Cupboard Monkey find it. To zoe.robinson@gmail.com. And of course, everybody, don't forget to hit the like button. It's really important. It's a great way of showing support for the show. And also make sure that YouTube gets the algorithm fed. All hail the algorithm.
All
the
hail
algorithm.
The algorithm.
Yes.
Not a cult.
Yes. Not a cult. Also,
But certainly a 4-letter word that begins
Yeah.
with a C.
yes. Replace the L for an N, and you have what we think.
Jenny! Jenny Kirk! I was not
Yeah.
suggesting that.
Anthony says hit the like button on the laptop and the phone. If you're logged in as the same person, though, doesn't one hand
cancels
giveth,
the other.
one taketh away. But yeah, do give us a share, and also consider sharing the stream to social media. Let people know whether it's on Facebook or any of those other weird things that the kids are into. Cameron Peterson says good night all from Glasgow. Hope to see you at Model Rail Scotland. Cymru Rail says hope you're both well. Yes, we are, but there's there's a suggestion of lateness.
Oh, okay, stop it. You like just hitting me with that thing, don't you? Yes, you do. You're a bit weird.
Waking you
yes.
up.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Yes, absolutely. SHGP Media. The algorithm is most certainly a cult which all YouTubers make sacrifice to. Southern Train Girl says algorithm. What, you mean the Matrix? Kind of, yes. Monday Club badges are just shared there by Ham Shackleton. There's the link. And Monday Club square tank wagons, the wreck tank wagons, if there are any left. There are some left. Don't forget to pick them up. We're in the process of trying to work out delivery for the next commission.
Orange.
I don't think I'm actually allowed to let on what wagon it is we're looking at.
Orange.
All I can say is it's going to be a ventilated van. Something that we've not done as a Monday Club wagon special commission. And so one to look out for. We're currently talking with Rapido with this, and I think we have to wait for May. But I'm not sure, actually.
We may have to.
We may have to wait till May to announce it. So basically, the wreck tanks have got until May, and if they're not sold, then unfortunately we can't order the next one. But yeah. How about a tank of vans, says Sarah Davis? Yeah, open the doors, and it's like lots of stuff in the face. Zoe sent you an email, said Richard Swiderski. Excellent,
Thank you.
excellent. Gotta love the YouTube algorithm, says Roobsters, Trains and Trannels. Andrew Bettis, I see what you did there. So you could have a sale. One of the things, actually, and I know that probably Buggle Skelly Stationers, he's commissioned quite a lot of different wagons over the years. The margins are wafer thin. The whole point of the Monday Club wagons is we price them to be the lowest price we can. We've got to pay order fulfillment from the retailer that we partner with. This time around is TMC. So every time they sell a wagon, they're not doing it out of their goodness of their heart, although they are a great partner. They're an absolute pleasure to work with, but there is a fee. So part of the cost of when you buy a Monday Club wagon is going to the retailer for actually the warehousing and the dealing with that order, having it listed on the website, that kind of thing.
Basically, we're paying them to do the stuff that we just do not.
Yeah,
have
that we
the
can't be
ability to
bothered.
do. It's not about not being bothered. We just do not have the time to do.
Staff and overheads as well in there. But then on top of that as well, you've got the actual cost of the wagons is quite expensive. People think there's a massive margin,
There really
and there isn't. Yeah,
we are not making making a richness out of this. Let's put it that way.
Funnily enough, the O gauge ones, I did work it out that if we sold every single O gauge wagon, the profit margin is enough that I get one wagon that I don't have to pay for effectively. That's it. I have to sell every single O gauge wagon, and I get one wagon to keep, and we break even. That's just how the mechanics are.
Yeah, we could have tried to.
We could have priced them higher, but then we wouldn't have sold as many.
Exactly,
it's as simple
and
as
the
that.
point wasn't to make money. The point was to have wagons.
Absolutely, and at the end of the day, this is about having something for the community.
It's what I always keep saying to people. It's like, if I wanted to make money, I'd have used my degree. I've got a law degree. If I wanted to make money, I would go and do it. But I don't. I just want to make.
If I wanted to make money, I'd go into banking.
Yeah.
Wardle Restoration says, I see all the O gauge ones are gone at Rails of Sheffield. They're not.
They're not at Rails of Sheffield.
Yeah, that's why. They're not at Rails of Sheffield. They're at TMC, the model centre. Cymru Rails says, I really want to order one. Where can we pick them up? The link does keep getting shared in the chat. I'm sure somebody will be sharing.
It's actually in the description, I hope.
It is in the description underneath as well. Do get them ordered. When they're gone, they're gone. They are a nice wagon, actually. I don't know what I've done with it. I've got one
Buggles
somewhere.
Kelly, I've given you a nice green canvas coat.
Is Buggles Kelly in?
Yeah, he was here earlier.
Was he? Oh, right, okay. Wamgok says, you could be the new PM, Zoe. Unfortunately, it's a bit cliquey. They don't let just anybody in.
They don't let people who want to make a difference in.
Yeah, it's like, oh, no, we can't have that. Yeah, Stevie Film says, I would work at the Mint if I want to make money. So, Buggins, there's an awful lot of crinkling noise as you're leaving today. Yes, it's in no way.
Jen, it's a joke. He would work at the Mint if he wanted to make money.
Ah, right. Michael Lane TT120 says, and I'm back. Oh, I don't know.
Welcome back. I was watching you.
So welcome back. Raymond Legg says Hornby should have sold live steam or brass models under the Bassett Loke name.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I think
they missed a trick with that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, Bassett Loke would have been the perfect home for the live steam models. Actually, yeah, I totally agree with you.
I think they really did wrong bringing out the steampunk stuff at Bassett Loke.
Yeah. Esk Valley Boy says, myself and Beth G will walk up to TMC to collect ours once they've ordered. Boom! Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Take it the feed Has the feed stopped? No, I think that's your connection. Darren J. Mould, great to see you. Hope you are well. And let's have a different... there we are. Let's change the angle of the jangle. I don't think we've had that.
For the brew, that is true.
Cymru Rails has ordered mine. Excellent. Of course, it is a Welsh-themed wagon this year, in 00 at least. Minith Tatus, which literally means Potato Mountain.
Yes.
Anthony says, Jenny, I bought another A4. I have a problem.
It's your problem that you haven't got enough.
I
just can't get enough.
I'm sorry, I
just can't get enough.
Stop it. I hate that song. It's an earworm. I'm looking at my A4 shelf. I have to bend over this way to see the other end of it. No, you've not got a problem. I'm up to 31, I think it is.
Should I turn the camera and show them it?
No. Anthony says, I'm on to number 3. I think you need to. You're going to have to.
That's rookie numbers. You need to step them up.
Yeah, you're going to need to pick up the pace if you want to catch up with me. Oh dear. I need more A4s, says PN Motorsport Trains. I only got 3. Depending on which livery you want, TMC, the model centre, have they certainly had at the Doncaster show all of the Commonwealth collection. So things like Empire of India they had. They did have Union of South Africa, but you snooze, you lose.
Someone called JL Railways.
JL Railways grabbed that, but they did have I think Sir Nigel Gresley. What else? Dominion of Canada, Mallard, those sort of things. Nigel Cole has about 15. Ooh. Raymond Legg says Marklin occasionally releases a Gauge 1 live steam loco as a very limited release.
Nice.
JL Railways goes And at Union of South Africa, can I just say, is one of the is it 4 or 6? I lose count. Either 4 or 6 that I need.
I genuinely thought you already had it. That's why I told him that you didn't.
Union of South Africa. For anybody who's wonders, Union of South Africa is one of the ones that I need. The other ones, all in BR livery. I need Silver Fox. I need Sir Ralph Wedgwood. I need Gannet. I need Seagull. I need Union of South Africa. Is it only 5? It may only be 5 that I need.
Huh.
I don't know. I must go through actually at some point. Simon Train's Mother Rowers Showcase says, who's that guy on Donegal Dad Rail livestream who has 50 A4s? Oh my word, that's more than they were actually worth. I think there was 35 originally, with 1 destroyed during the Second World War. Gary B says, I don't own any Gronks. Is there something wrong with me?
Yes, you don't have any Gronks.
Yes. Yes, there is. I believe that
We're not going to judge you.
We're not going to judge you, but we are. You need a Gronk.
Life's not worth living without a Gronk.
Harp House Holt says, need or just desire.
I
needs it.
Is there a difference when it comes to your life?
Retro Ramble. We're getting back on topic here. Retro Ramble says, do you wait for sales before buying? No. Right. There's certain things. So, for example, I've just bought a load of Bachmann Powell vans because I really want them. And there is an element. There are certain models that come out, and I look at the price and I go, I should Coco. No, out of my ballpark. But I tend to, I'm very lucky. I'm older. I have a reasonable day job away from model trains, so I can afford to buy bits and pieces. I don't buy as much as I did. I think that is in part down to the way that prices have gone.
Partly because you've got everything.
Well, there's an element of that. Wardle Restoration says, are you still enjoying the O-Gauge 88DS? Absolutely. That is definitely one that is going to spend the summer trundling around the garden. And I can't pick it up because the paint's still wet. But the Cupboard Monkey's actually painting a mini-me.
You can hold it by the head.
No. I'll leave it be for now. The Cupboard Monkey's actually painting up a mini-me in O-Gauge, courtesy of Model U. And don't forget that you can also order up the YouTubers from the YouTube selection on Model U, where there's 2 versions of me knocking about. There's also one of the Cupboard Monkey as well. You're no longer a secret unlockable character. You can actually just outright buy it.
I'm on the list as Fat Lass with Camera. No, that's not what I'm on the list as.
Anthony says, I've got 1 Gronk at the moment, Molly. Oh, that's a good start. It's a good start.
I recommend that one. It's got a good livery. I have it in N and TT120.
Yeah, I thought as much actually. New Junction. The Acura Scale crew for the 88DS is Ollie himself. I actually really thought that. And yes, Wardle Restorations. I would love to come and drive the real thing. And of course, people, don't forget that your Monday Club pin badge gets you, I think, was it 10% off entry to the Colne Valley Railway. So all the more reason to go down and see the locomotive that was the inspiration. Not really the inspiration as much as the one that they measured up and also that they recorded the sound from, that is there for the Acura Scale Ruston 88DS. Worthington Mother Rowers says, I tend to buy what I want when I want it, though occasionally I get tempted by stuff. I think that pretty much describes me as well. Absolutely. There are models here where I've, of a night, maybe had a few sherbets, and I find myself looking through Hereford Model Centre. Oh, look at that, it's a bargain! And I hear this sort of wistful shout on the breeze from Mark Wilson. No, my bargains! Not as much anymore, actually. Apparently, it all went when I started talking about the Hereford Model Centre bargains. It went a bit wild, so actually a lot of this stuff's been sold. Although I'm told that their stock room is rather not unlike the warehouse at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's capacious and has a lot of goodies in. Wardle Restoration says, yes, 10% off. My loco is easily accessible for the next few months, so if you're out this way, we can sort a video day. Excellent. Andy Fryer's Junction says, according to my Bachman rep, some PAL vans are now sold out and the remaining ones are low stock. Yeah.
How's your hand, Andy?
What's he done to his hand?
Caught it at work today, and thought for a while that he'd broken his hand until I explained what bone pain actually feels like.
Yeah, you know it. Like, to anybody who thinks, "Oh, have I broken it?" No,
if you're asking,
know if you've broken it.
When you bruise your fingers or any other bone, you'll think, "Oh, have I broken it?" When you break a bone, however, you step backwards out of your body and can see the flow of time.
Yes,
it's a very different experience.
As you scream at the flow of time. The PAL van, a case in point actually, and I think Bachman have done quite well with this. The PAL van is quite a nice distinctive van, very different from anything else that's been offered before. And actually, even though they were quite late in arriving, they were quite long lasting in a number of flows, particularly I think Johnny Walker Whiskey used some to move stuff between the distillery and their bonded warehouse. But the MOD as well used them quite a lot. So whilst they were unsuccessful in BR use, particularly because they tended to get uneven loading, they weren't loaded sympathetically, which meant that they were overloaded on one axle and underloaded on the other, and that could cause dodgy riding.
This is Worthington Model Railway. I've given him a very long brown leather coat because I thought it was appropriate.
And Andy Fryer's Junction says, Zoe, I'm just using my right hand to type.
Fair enough. This is Buggles Kelly. He's got a brown flat cap on and a green canvas jacket. I haven't painted any of the rest of him.
Interesting. Little Britain says, can I just say there isn't much difference between a badly sprained ankle and a broken metatarsal. The bone actually allowed me to walk, which the sprain didn't. Oh.
This is Jenny. She needs her top done, her bag done, and her hair done. But apart from that, she's pretty much ready.
Anthony Hill says, I broke my ankle playing footy a few years ago. Went to the walk-in, gave me painkillers for swelling. Walked around 2 days, then went to A&E. Yeah, broken. Month on the sofa.
Oh my goodness.
Project Northgate says, if you've got a Monday Club badge, you can get a free ride on the miniature railway at Ecclesbourne. Oh, well, I need to add that.
Tell me about these things. I'll add them.
Yeah, if you add that to the list, definitely. We'll add that in if you're okay with that. RG Models 86 says, a few years ago, I sustained soft tissue damage to my hand. It wasn't until the swelling went down that I discovered I broke a bone in my hand. So it turns out you're wrong.
I'm not. I have a broken finger. It's broken so badly that I can't bend this. Like, seriously, that is how my hand goes. So every time you see me doing that, it's not a weird symbol. I'm not trying to do a gang sign. That's just how my hand works.
Yeah, can I just say...
I got that broken. Well, I say got that. Someone attacked me and broke my finger.
Yeah, you didn't go, can you break this for me, please?
I stopped screaming once we got to hospital. Yeah. That's how bad and
Naive Gauge, Ecclesbourne, it's near Wirksworth. It runs from Wirksworth down to somewhere else. Dave's got railways says, Jenny, have you turned the sound down? No, that's your computer that has the issue, I'm afraid. Duffield, Simon Trace Memorial Railway Showcase, that's the place. For some reason in my head I was thinking Driffield. Right, anyway, yes, sales, are they good for the hobby? Definitely. If you... could you go and die somewhere else? It's quite noisy. But are you alright over there? Do you want a drink? Take a drink. Look, just have a drink. There you go.
It's my blood pressure tablets. They dry your throat.
Yeah, well, have a drink then. So, yeah, I think in the short term, definitely, sales are brilliant for the consumer. Make out like a bandit. I'm not saying don't buy from sales. That would be foolish not to. But I think that there are definitely some things to consider. And I think that maybe it's a sign that the market has reached a point where it can't, for whatever reason, justify the spending that historically it's had before. I think that's definitely the case. And actually talking to... I'm really sorry for the fanfare that we've got.
I'm trying my best not to do this.
Okay. I think that, when I was talking to retailers, and this wasn't just one retailer, this was probably about half a dozen retailers at Doncaster, every single one said that they'd experienced a degree... Why is that? It's like, oh, I see you're busy. Let me make a weird, stupid noise. I'm going to stop now, and it has annoyed me for the last time. There we go. Right. Where was I? A lot of retailers said that there started to be a little bit of a slowdown. Numbers at Doncaster were definitely very, very strong. There was a lot of people through the door.
So many people.
People weren't buying as much. People were searching through all the bargains. Yeah, and people were buying. But a lot of retailers were saying that it's not as frantic a selling as it has been in previous years. And actually the slowdown appears to have happened for maybe the last 5 months or so. Little Britain says one thing that some successful retailers do is to rotate their sales among the product mix in order to generate buzz and keep the name in the ether.
That's
and that
the
is
DFS sale model.
Yeah. And I think as well, it's something that possibly retailers, if they've got the space to do it, it's sometimes worth actually taking stuff off the shelves. And this is a technique that does happen.
That's the Beanie Baby approach.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yes. You need to create a fear of missing out. And, fear of missing out is not a new thing. It's always been around. It's just only recently have people dubbed it that. But if you, as a retailer, one way of managing an expectation of sales, where people go, I'll just wait for the next sale, is actually you have a time limit. You don't tell people this, but after a certain length of time, the remaining stock you withdraw from sale. You just tuck it away in the warehouse, and you go, sold out. Sorry, you snooze, you lose, you missed it. And then maybe a few months down the line, you get a warehouse fine. Oh, look at this. Oh, we found some in the warehouse. And they go on sale. But, it's not guaranteed. And suddenly there's this air of, well, I could miss the bargains here. And it's about managing the expectation of a sale. And I think that is quite important. You don't want to devalue your product. And I know that there's people watching from Bachman. There's definitely people watching from Accurascale. Also get people watching from Hornby. There's people who work there obviously much more qualified in this area than me. But from my point of view, and what I've seen over many, many years, is yes, New Junction, we know you're here. The people at Bachman and people at Hornby just lurk. I find out later. They go, I watched the Monday Club.
Yeah, you said this.
You said we smelled of poo. No, not that. But it's about managing the expectation of a sale. You don't want people to expect there to be a sale, particularly when you release a new product.
Yeah.
You actually, I think all manufacturers want this. They want it to sell out, not just with them, but actually sell out in the shops as well. If it ends up going to a sale, then perhaps haven't I don't want to say hyped it enough, but it's almost like the sums. There's like very complicated sums in terms of what it costs, what the market will pay for it, and how many you make. And the ideal is actually to just sell out, so that there isn't a sale, but there also isn't a perception that they shelf queen a lot. And I think that part of the arsenal of controlling sales from a manufacturer's point of view is quite simply, if you can, dump a load in the warehouse after a certain length of time. If they're not selling, don't do a fire sale and just wait a bit and they go, oh, warehouse find.
Not that all warehouse finds are like that, but
no, but I think a few are.
So I would say as a
Oh
summary.
my word, 8:20. Good God, yes, someone said, where's the time gone? Oh my
I would
word.
say as a summary, sales are good for the hobby because people get stuff that they otherwise couldn't have afforded. But from a manufacturer's point of view, it's essential, not just recommended, but essential that you don't end up having an expectation of a sale.
Yeah, that's what you don't want. And like looking at you, New Junction in particular, just because you actually chat. But I know that there's other people from Acura Scale in the chat somewhere. There's also people from Bachman. There are people from Hornby in there. I think everybody would agree an expectation of a sale is dangerous.
Yes.
Because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yep.
Because if people look at your new product, your brand new 3-toed Whoppet, and they go,
I want one, but I'm going to wait.
yeah, it's like, one would be nice, but I'm not paying that. I'll just wait for the sale. And I see this a lot. And I'm just saying, this is already happening. I see this online. People go, I'll just wait and see if they make it to the sales. People talking about the leaders. And I've got a leader going round. And actually, one of the reasons I'm running it all the time, I want to see what happens if you just run a leader. This is a bone stock leader. It's actually sound fitted. So the decoder that's in it is the one that came from the factory. And I want to see what happens if you actually just run them to death. And actually, so far, it's run absolutely fine. There's no overheating. There's no binding. The wheels don't fall off. Seems all right. But I've seen a lot of people saying, I'll just wait and see if they go in the sale. Well, I've got news for you. They've sold really well. And to the best of my knowledge, they're actually sold out pretty much everywhere. So managing the expectation of will there be a sale is very important. And I think part of the arsenal, I'm not saying KR models have definitely not done this. There's not a warehouse somewhere with loads of leaders just sat there. It's like, oh, we'll have a warehouse find in a bit. But that is one of
the tools that should be in your war chest.
I mean, Russell Benton says the leader won't go down in price because there aren't that many good ones to start with. I mean, what you've got to remember, and this applies to all products, is that if you get a good one, most people, you get a good one, it's like, I'm happy. Yeah. I will move it. You don't go and evangelize about how good it is online.
No, of course you don't.
The human psyche is not like that. It's like, I will make it my mission to go everywhere and tell everybody how great my lead. People don't do that. And
they don't evangelize.
No, people don't. People don't. And people are not so bought into a product or a brand.
But if you get a problem, my goodness, people are going to hear about it. But if you get
if you get a problem, people will say stuff. Oh, thank you so much, Naive Gauger, member for 17 months. Says, after 17 months, I still like every stream. Do you? Absolutely, I do. I enjoy doing it.
You do you?
Yes, I do. I do.
But, don't you know?
Yeah, Matt Oval says, my GT3 and Leader, both perfect. Yeah, and this isn't just, we're not just talking about KR models here, we're talking about everything. When you see stuff where people start moaning about an EFE model, or a Bachman model, or a Hornby model, or a Daypole model, what you tend to find is that people who are unhappy make a lot of noise. It's human nature.
That's human nature. We want people to have problems.
And also it's like, when you're like, you've paid good money for something and it's arrived faulty, you're angry.
Of course you are.
And you need an outlet for that. And that is human nature. So one of the things that over the years I've found is that, Russell Benton, you have to admit there are proportionally more complaints on Leader than, say, the Jones Goods. Yeah, to some extent, I would agree with you on that. I think that KR models have been let down by the factory in China. It's not that they've gone out of their way to make a substandard model. It's not the case.
No one does.
Nobody ever does that. But unfortunately, the factory has shipped a lot of models with problems with broken whistles, things like that. Unfortunately, it's happened. But there's not as many as perhaps it seems to be. I think there's also an element on a certain online forum where people are gunning for certain smaller manufacturers. And I've often said, my feelings on this is it does feel like this is a legacy of the DJ models debacle, where Dave Jones models operated a Kickstarter type model, made lots of announcements, delivered a few models. There were issues in terms of transmission and motors on the J94, things like that. The 14XX for Hattons, there were issues as well with that. The Class 71, there were issues with the motor on that, and bits and pieces. And at the time, anybody who raised issues was silenced on a particular forum, and it was like nobody could say a bad word against that. And then when it all went belly up, I think a lot of people lost a lot of money, and you have to feel for this. People have, in good faith, put down a lot of money on various models that DJ models announced, and then it went belly up. Where's the money gone? It's gone. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people
are rightly angry about that.
And the problem is that it's not just KR models. I think there was a slew of new manufacturers, people like Cavalex, Revolution, KR models, Sonic models, all turn up around the same time, and these people angry that they've lost money. It's like, well, these people are just scammers, just the same, and it's like,
but they're not.
Yeah, and I think, Values 56XX says, a Marklin ICE special edition train had to be recalled because it caught fire.
Good grief.
And Zantec
there are
says...
problems with models, and then there are problems with models.
Zantec says, then when it gets unloaded, the models are not exactly handled gently at the warehouse. And this is, sorry, I read the comments in order. They make small runs in China. They ship said models halfway around the world in containers, which get roughly handled at ports and bounced around at sea, and not exactly gentle at warehouses. And that's the thing. Some of the damage, and I've seen some of the damaged leaders in particular. I do get to see some of these. The packaging, it's like the model has been punched into the packaging, the internal clamshell. And the only way that can happen is if that box decelerated very quickly against something hard. And it is like it has been unsympathetically handled either at the factory or when being loaded or when being unloaded. And it's the sort of damage that you'd be very hard to replicate. I'm not quite sure what's gone on with that. It is unfortunate. Mixed Train says, good evening, Jenny and Zoe. Oh, hello. It's great to see you.
Just don't knock the biscuits over. A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Project Northgate says, I personally think the best manufacturer at the moment has to be Acura Scale. Fantastic models, good customer service, and good price. Yeah, absolutely. I think Acura Scale been doing very, very well. Bob Ballard says, a certain carpet-based YouTuber evangelizes so much about Rapido, I get the distinct feeling he works for them.
I want to jump in.
It doesn't work for them. I say that. It does not work.
I want to jump in at that point.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between feeling like someone's evangelizing and feeling like someone is a big fan and really likes stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get accused of like, oh yeah, just like, oh yeah, you like glowing about every month. And actually, what you got to remember is, I love model trains. I love model trains, and I have done for all my life. I am incredibly enthusiastic about model trains, and I recognise that nobody sets out to rip off railway modelers with deliberately shoddy models.
Even some of the people that have we've been talking about that have run off with cash. They didn't set out to do that.
They started to do that. It just kind of happened along the way on his his fact-finding trip to the Azores.
No one sets out to make a bad model and hurt people for it.
And I think that when I'm really, really happy about a model, it's because it's a good model and I'm really happy about it. Now,
the Rapido Sterling single Sam review does look amazing. You like the Sterling single?
I like the Sterling single. I didn't get accused of evangelising about Rapido. No, the Rapido stuff is really good. I'm looking around now. Actually, behind me, I've got Jones Goods.
Oh,
Y7.
Simon, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Simon Pitch. You very, very kindly donated $9.99 on the super chat. Says for the cakes. Oh, thank you so much. Right, can I just say though, Spelio Kier says, to be fair, he's put out Rapido locos that are hard to service.
There's a lot of things that are hard to service.
But one thing I'd like to say is you don't actually need to service most of these things. That I always find it a little bit weird. People going like, oh yeah, well, it dismantles them, shows you how it's put together. And it's like, why do you need to know that? And actually, from having done stuff in beta test groups for Hornby, actually, a little knowledge can be a dangerous thing. And sometimes you find people who really shouldn't be poke around inside models and actually cause more harm than good. Case in point, I do actually, up here, run locos to death. If you want to know how much a locomotive can run before it needs to be serviced, well, I'll let you know when I find out, because I have run for the equivalent of hundreds of hours over the years, various locomotives. And yeah, you've heard the Dapol 08 scream going on. A wee drop of oil in the gear chain will fix that. It's just a bearing on the motor. And actually, you don't need to dismantle the gear chain. You don't need to go digging about inside some of these models just to give them the basic service. And I think this idea of encouraging people to dismantle their models for servicing, these aren't models from the dawn of time. These are actually very well designed precision things. That's like saying, oh well, you need to know how to dismantle and grind the crankshaft journals on your car and dingle ball hone the cylinders every time you
You're just making words up now.
Full enough, no. Or set the tappets. Like, when did you last set the tappets on your car? I'll wager it was never. And, okay, in the days of Morris Minors and Series 1 Land Rovers, you probably did have to, check for valve lash and stuff. With a feeler gauge, I know how to do all this. How many times in 250,000 miles have I done that to my Volvo 850? Never. Doesn't need it. Not going in there. Not breaking the seal. Andrew Betty says, you have a positive attitude and look for the good and praise the positive. It's still a balanced review. Absolutely. The honest truth is that pretty much most models are really good. We've never had it good. I grew up in an era where, if you wanted a really good model, you bought Hornby 00. If you wanted a crap model, you bought Triangle or Hornby. And the standard of some of the models in the 1980s and before was garbage when you compare it to now. Models were like generic chassis and stuff like that, overscale everything and moulded on detail. We have long since left that behind. We're in an era where I often almost jokingly say we never had it so good. But that is the honest truth. Have you stopped the chat from moving? Yeah. Why? What am I looking for?
I'm waiting for you to stop so I can answer a question. John Pinney has asked me, Zoe, were you into model trains before you met Jenny, or was it Jenny that got you into them? So, here's the thing. When my grandfather died, I was very young.
Yes.
And he was into model trains. And my dad got some of his train set and tried to get me into it.
Mm-hmm.
I was not interested. No. I was into scale expert. I love scale expert. Always have, always will. So I was never into trains. I was never a train person, but I love trams, and I love building models. So I was building dioramas and all sorts, like space, underwater, that kind of thing. I build stuff. I was into the model making. Jen is a train person. I've never been a train person.
Yeah.
But I do love to build the models that the trains can run on.
There was a comment from Sarah Davis that I wanted to answer just before Zoe went and moved everything. So the problem when you're in a position like you are, Jenny, and it applies to anyone, you get to be a product snob and expect certain things, certain standards. And to some extent, but also, you know, with great reach becomes great responsibility. And the honest truth is, if you unfairly trash talk a model, you can actually, you know, bigger influencers can influence the sales of that.
Yeah,
and you
we've
can
seen this
actually end up where a model is unfairly talked down for whatever reason. And you have to remember, negative videos do generate a lot more views, but it does hurt manufacturers. It does hurt products.
And we see this all the time. It's not just in model trains. Have you ever looked at the Metacritic ratings or Rotten Tomato ratings? Between what a fan of a film or just a general film goer thought compared to what the critics and reviewers thought.
Yeah, it's funny actually. The critics hated Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the critics often hate things because the problem with the critic is that they are so deeply into something that they see loads of it and they want something new and interesting. But the average person on the street watches a film every week rather than 3 or 4 every day. And that's the difference. They want something that's fun rather than something that breaks up the monotony.
Yeah. Anthony says John Best. Oh, sorry, I'm talking to somebody else. Yeah, RG Models Agencies. Ghostbusters is a brilliant film. And, you know, back in the day as a kid, loved it. Couldn't give it 2 hoots what the critics thought of it. They poo-pooed it. And in all honesty, from my point of view, I'm passionate about model trains. Really passionate, always have been. And, you know, when I look at models, I always look for the best in models. I love models. There's stuff which I think is crap. But I'll be honest with you, why would I buy it to review it unless, you know, I could rather cynically really grow my channel dramatically and get massive views if all I ever did was trash talk models. But actually, that is misrepresenting a lot of models, certainly new models. You know, I could pick up a Hornby model from 1980 and trash talk it, but why? What does that actually add to the sum total of relevance to YouTube?
Yeah.
Nothing. Who cares? Everybody knows that the stuff was made differently back then, the technology was differently, and that standards were different. Who cares? Now we've got incredible models of prototypes that you would never have dreamed even 10 years ago that we would get models of. We've got features that you would never have dreamed were possible 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You've got a standard of printing so good that we once magnified a Hornby HTO hopper down so far that there was actually the people who'd actually done the artwork couldn't work out what a panel said, so they put good luck reading what this says. And actually that's on the model.
And it's in a magazine as well.
Yeah, and we were the first people to spot it, and that model had been out for nearly a year. So it just goes to show the depth of detail out there, and
It's
unless
wonderful.
it's pointed out, most people don't give a hoot.
Right. Guys, we are now at the point where it's time for some videos.
That's an interesting point. Now, just very, very quickly.
Go on.
Harp Household says Eurovision. The UK jury gave ABBA's Waterloo 0 points.
Wow.
It's like, how out of touch were they?
Yeah. So the first video we got is from Andrew Rennie, who says, "At long last, Pride Pendolino at Motherwell."
Oh, nice.
So here we go. If we can, which button is it? That one?
Yeah. Hit the lever. Oh,
Beep,
sorry.
beep.
The snacky of choice is Maltesers truffles.
Yes. Oh, here it comes. It's not going to stop. I'm still upset that I almost had the Pendolino in N-gauge, but I didn't quite get there quick enough.
I don't think he'll sell much ice cream at that speed.
No, but he's not going to sell any tickets at that speed either because he's not stopping. It looks so real, doesn't it? And there'll be someone out there that's really fuming that we've shown a rainbow. I still can't believe that guy. Don't you dare put that on that layout. So of course we did. It's like, dude.
Somebody asked a while back if I owned any DJ models. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I've got one.
Thank you so much for sending that in.
I've got a J94, and I bought it second hand. And the honest truth is, I've had no issues whatsoever with it.
Good model, isn't it?
I like it. But then again, I've got the Hornby X Daypole J94, and I quite like that as well. It's dead easy to DCC fit. And somebody said it's gone off the top. But somebody said, one particular reviewer said, I admit I'm biased. I only buy models I want or I like.
What's wrong with that?
There is an element of that, and people go, you're in the pocket of the manufacturers, so you get all these freebie reviews. Firstly, they're not freebies, because you've got to make a review out of them.
Not just that, but most of them have to go back.
Yeah, and also a lot of them are just on loan. And that's just the fact of life. That's how magazines operate as well.
Yeah.
And not
There's
just for
nothing
model
wrong with
railways.
that.
It's like you don't think that Top Gear paid for and bought every car that they reviewed. No, it doesn't work like that.
Is that logo an advert for Crown Paint?
But one of the things that I'd agree with that is that I don't buy stuff I'm not interested in. So you'll notice in my reviews, the only Class 66 I've ever reviewed was a loaner from Hatton's. I don't own a Class 66 because I have zero interest in them.
Yeah.
But I can still see the good aspects of that model.
Take care, Martin Parkinson. Thanks for coming along.
Absolutely.
Have a great night.
You take great care. I'll catch you next time. I guess as a reviewer, there's like I've bought the Palvans. They're not review samples. I've bought them because I want them. They'll probably be the subject of a video. You could argue, I'm receptive to them because I wanted them. Mm-hmm. But I always, it's one of those things. It's like trying to say that a judge is biased. Actually, judges are trained and are very much aware of their responsibility to not be biased. Mm-hmm. And, just because a judge personally has a particular hobby or likes a particular thing, the whole point is to not let that influence your judgment. And that is what proper reviewers do. Anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch.
So, to a certain extent, there is a self-selection for things that you're probably going to be quite partial to. Here we go. So next up, we have a message from PVA J. Cloth Allen, who says, please can you show my video? It's a scenery one this time. The Buckland Junction Loft Model Railway COVID lockdown corner, bodged up, cover-up station yard.
That's a bit of a mouthful.
That is a big thing to say. My goodness, quite a mouthful. So we're going to jump through it, and I'm going to jump over to here, and if you press the button, we'll get in there. Hey!
So there's the PVA J Cloth.
Because it works.
Yeah, and it's a good, low-budget modelling material that works really well. Such a great use of the things like the walls, the different levels. So, obviously he's talking about what he's been doing, but I love these sort of under arches, the little businesses and stuff. It's really, really great. This is such a fun layout.
That's an interesting, what looks to be 3D printed shed as well. You don't see sheds with that style roof a lot.
No, that's a Pico kit.
Is it?
I've got one there.
All right, you don't see them that much around.
They're a Southern Railway concrete prefabricated plate layers hut is what they are.
Oh, okay. I'm going to jump this on a little bit. See.
I love that complex junction.
Oh, that is. Look at the amount of stuff going on there. Oh, I like that with the flag and the lighthouse in the background on the back seemed lovely. There's a lot going on here. I like it. Looking back to June 22. Okay. Now we're going to jump further on, though, because I want to see where he gets to with this. Oh, he's still... Look at what he's done with this. Oh my goodness. Right. So we're having a look at the ground.
Martin Shipman asked, sorry, I nodded off. How much are the three-toed Wobbits and what liveries are they in?
The way he's made up that plate layer shed, I think you said it was.
There we are.
There we are.
This is
the
like
oils that is the kind of
the weathering
in
wash.
certain places.
Yeah, the
yes,
wash.
the weathering wash. Pooling in certain places to really make the detail pop. I've seen several ways of doing this in war gaming, which really works. And one of the ways to do it is to kind of make it with a black and white almost shadow layer using washes. And then to go over with almost watercolour.
Yeah, that garage underneath is going to be garage and car sales. Interesting.
Oh, so you can use a lot of them. Oh, I love that.
Sarah Davis asks, are the four-toed Woppits lucky? If you can find one.
They do like to eat their clovers.
Yeah, you've got to be careful of three-toed Woppits. They do tend to get into the cavities in your wall.
And they're a bugger to get back out. This is really cool.
These are actually quite a nice... from what I remember, there was a plastic... was it Ratio or Will's kit?
Look at all the different stuff he's putting on.
Sure,
the way he's got all those sleepers built up as well is very cool.
Or were they... I can't remember their origin. I've got a couple. There's one over there.
Alan, are you running your entire layout off... Oh, that's a live stream.
Oh,
right.
Yes.
Oh, I thought for a second there that he was running his layout off a computer using Orbs.
Valley's 56XX says, I Swindonize my Woppit.
Do I ever Zenithal undercoat? I do know about it, and there's a few wargamers that really go for that technique. I have never tried it myself, but I probably will.
Knockers Lane says, just bought a Wren Golden Arrow City of Wells spam cam. So told the wife I spent the money on some new kitchen units. I think I'll be getting the saucepan on the head when she finds out.
Warren Jones, you're absolutely right. The slap shop method, it works so well. I can't say a bad thing about it. Oh, look at how he's done that. The oils on the ground and all that. Oh.
Yeah, the oil stains. And that's what I like about Alan's layout. Is that he really, really good at like painting the stuff.
Yes.
Not just that, but like the scenery and such. Like these look like using old wheel sets. I love the sleepers. Look at that with the rusty chairs and stuff. That works so well. And then I'm guessing that's going to become like a coal yard. So do we need to move it on just a little bit?
That's what I was about to talk about. This is Nuln oil.
Nuln oil. What?
This is one of those things that the slap chop method works really well with.
What is Nuln oil?
This is a shader.
Okay.
What you would call a contrast paint.
Yeah. Oh, look, there we are. We've got the
all of the corners, all the bits.
Look, it's got a big pile of nutty slack.
Ah, lovely. Would you do me a favour, Jen?
Apparently, according to Maura King, Alan did a marathon live stream a couple of weeks ago.
I think this might be part of that.
Dave Rowledge says three-toed Woppit was on the specials board.
Thank you so much for showing us all that, Alan. That was amazing.
Are we going to, at some point, have a Monday Club wagon, which is going to be like
Billy's three-toed Woppets?
Three-toed Woppet rearers, what?
And bring down the thingamajig, the N-gauge layout.
The whatchamacallit.
Yeah, before we go on with any more videos.
Oh yeah, we did. Was it last week? We did the... how's that turned out then? Is that... what I would suggest on this...
Now, I'm going to just bring up just the Jenny cam.
Yeah, one of the things... this has actually turned out quite well because I did it.
So,
but
here is Nuln oil. It's very dark. It goes for the crevices and things like that.
You said crevice.
So, what I want to do...
Can I just say, people who were here when we did the live ballasting, look how well that's turned out. That was with the Deluxe Materials ballast bond.
What I'm going to do is, where would you say a locomotive would sit for a little bit and cause oil slips and oil to drop?
I would say probably,
because I want to try this.
Do the entire track. What I would actually do is I use brush cleaning fluid
This should not only dry very quickly, but enhance some of the colours.
Yeah. There's. Can I just say, because it's probably quite an expensive way to do your layout using an entire nunchuck oil or whatever that's called.
Nuln oil.
Because that's quite subtle. If you want it really...
I don't want it really deep. That's the point. I want it to look reasonably subtle.
Is that water-based, then?
This is acrylics-based.
Well, it's water, isn't it?
Yeah.
And actually, you'll see that kind of soaks into the ballast a little bit.
Yeah.
There's some great products, actually.
See this roof?
Yeah.
It's...
Because that's just bare plastic at the moment.
just bare plastic.
In fact, the whole building could probably do with a little bit. Yeah, because immediately you can see we've got highlights and lowlights going on. Is that... Yeah,
Goes straight in. Absorbs straight in.
we're not showing any more of people's videos.
It will be. I just wanted to do this while I was thinking about it.
I would say the cream cladding might benefit a little bit from that as well. Do it all the way round. Is that actually... Yeah. Because you see it kind of highlights all the individual planks. Here you are.
Yes.
Do you want me to do this side?
You do that side.
So
I'm going to bring this camera down.
talk to the nice people.
Yeah, the ballast looks great. It really does. The
And
way
you
you've
saw
done this,
how
Jen,
easy
was so...
that was.
Yeah, you made it look like, oh, even an idiot like me could do this.
And that's the. I think a lot of people.
There it is.
I think a lot of people, you know, obviously don't enjoy doing ballast and such. Like, can I just? There's a really good technique. Can you pass me my brush cleaning pot from over there?
Yeah.
I want to show you my technique for oily track. Just find my brush cleaning pot.
What? Okay.
You see, it's down there with the kitchen roll pushed in the top.
This one.
Yeah. What? Just.
I just dropped my paints
Yeah.
palette. Don't worry.
So, I haven't got much left in here actually. I accidentally tipped it over at some point. So, what I would suggest is, could you also pass me the brush cleaning fluid? I'm going to add a little bit of brush cleaning fluid into.
Where is it?
To the left of that wooden support. Yeah,
Yes.
there. That's the one. So,
You can make your own Nuln oil using acrylic medium, black ink, and burnt umber. Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
Right, so this is white spirit, and what I'm doing is, this is the dirty pot where I clean all my brushes. I'm very economical with this stuff. I'm going to add a little bit in there, and then what I'm going to do is, let me just find one of my brushes, if I can. I'm not sure that, I don't know where my...
Just use one of mine.
Yeah, that's probably easier. So, have you got a fairly wide brush? What was the one that you were just using there? So this is now going to be, let me just dry that off, yeah.
Did you just dry that off on the carpet?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Not proud. So this is dirty brush cleaning fluid. And, it's not got much...
It's a similar idea.
Yeah.
But look at the difference.
And
it's going to take a lot more of that.
No. There's ways and means, Let me show you...
Does the Nuln oil work on ballast? That's the ballast there, and it seems to have.
Hold on, right.
It does seem. I wouldn't say it's a cheap, mind.
No.
This pot's like £4 or £5.
Yeah, that's why.
So if you can make your own, I would recommend it. But as a person who happened to have some already, it's worked out really well, and it's really enhanced this roof.
Yeah, where's...
Okay, whilst Jen's looking for that, I'm going to jump back to the videos now, because it's quite an idea. But we've got an email here from
you want to
Simon
do this
Paul.
on a budget? I've had this tin of non-drip black gloss for ages. This is like, God knows, I think this was like one of B&Q's, like, please take it off us, we're sick of seeing it on our show.
So, next up we've got from Simon Paul, says, hello Jenny, Zoe, Gandalf, Topsy and
Hello.
Gronksy Toaster, a jumble of clowns and everyone in the chat. My offering for the cult of Gronks is from the Erith Model Railway Exhibition on the 25th of January. See, we're getting closer to up to date now.
Yeah. Right, so I'm just going to...
Quality street paints. Don't eat the purple ones.
Yeah. But
You be careful to not put all that stuff onto my stuff. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
I'm going to try not to flip black...
Get some dirty wash on those Metcalfe building corner joints. I was actually planning to go over them with an ink pen or something like that, but I haven't got one yet.
Anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch,
Okay.
I'm going to... Oh,
You do that while I press
This
button.
tin hasn't been opened in about a year, so as you can imagine,
It's not doing great.
it's fighting me.
So this is
every
Erith
step of the way.
Mortal Railway Exhibition.
Yeah. Right. What I'm going to do is I've cracked the seal, so I'm just going to dip the brush
Here we
down
go.
in.
That is a really nice layout.
Now you see that's like, oh no!
Oh, that's very dark. That is very
just-
dark.
Patience, my little angry friend. Patience.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's very dark.
And what I'm doing now is I'm using the dirty white spirit. You see?
Mm.
It's like,
And it's more soaking round the ballast than mine
yeah.
did.
So you
Mine,
get.
the way I did it was more of a precision thing because it doesn't soak as much.
So I don't. Can people see? Well,
People can still see it, but oh, look at this. Oh,
So what I'm doing here.
I love the way they had the windows open on that locomotive.
Yeah. Can I just say as well, one of the other fringe benefits of this technique.
Is you get to use up all your scrap paint.
No, sides of the rails are turning black.
That
So
works as well, yeah.
we're actually toning down
look
the
at that.
track, as well as
I love this model. This is fantastic.
we're turning down.
An old culvert. Jen, look at that.
Oh, that
Engage.
engage.
But look at the size of the viaduct. That is a great way of getting a wonderful viaduct in a small area.
Yeah.
That is nice. I like this.
So one of the things that's going on here, I'll just quickly
It's
talk
Simon
people through.
Trains. It is.
Yeah, one of the things that's going on here is actually the sides of the rails are getting painted a little bit as well,
Oh,
which
look
means
at
that you
viaduct.
tone down that brassy colour. And then what I'll do...
I'll tell you
is-
what, though.
Yeah.
My version with the null oil is so much less smelly.
There is that.
Oh my goodness, I'm getting such a headache.
Oh, you're just such a blooming southerner.
Look at that. Oh, I love this layout. This is so good. And getting in there close really helps to emphasize the height. This is fantastic. Simon, you've done a brilliant job with these videos.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and then the other side, which just looks like lovely countryside. I'm really getting a headache off that.
Ah, yeah, well, that's...
My goodness.
Look, can I just say, look, you can see how subtle it is as it soaks into the ballast.
Yeah.
And this paint is cheap. I think I probably paid a £5 for the entire tin, and it's done me for years.
The locomotive graveyard. I've seen this one. I've seen this one
Yes.
in person.
Oh, we saw this at Getz.
Yeah.
It's a lovely layout.
It's a lovely layout. It really is.
Right, so I'm gonna
Completely go off of mine.
I'm gonna do it properly. Right, and you look at that now and you think, oh no, I've ruined it. But look, just
Once it dries in, it's much better, isn't it?
and this is what
And
I
of
was
course, you can
saying
always
to
go
people.
over the top and.
Yeah, we're washing it in.
Oh, Jen. Let me just jump this back a second.
What have we got? Some kind of Gronk?
Right. May have gone back a little too far. Give me a second.
Yeah, we saw this there. Oh look, it's a Gronk being moved to its death. No.
It's a
no.
condemned Gronk. Oh no.
Oh no. Right.
Dilapidated Gronko.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting layout.
Yeah. We saw this at
It's a
Get-
wonk.
Yes.
I like it.
Right. Do you like what I'm doing here?
It's very interesting. I'm going to let you keep going.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just do a little bit.
Although I don't, to be fair, everyone, I don't think that I'd be able to stop her. She's in her element. She's got a paintbrush and she knows what she's doing.
Yeah. It's a great technique, and it paints the rails. We talked about this last week. People say,
Yeah.
do you paint the rails before or after? Well, this is why I don't paint them
Oh
before.
my god, it's stinging my eyes. My eyes, the goggles, they do nothing.
What's that from?
The Simpsons.
But the goggles, they do nothing.
Yeah, the Radioactive Man movie being filmed in Springfield.
Oh,
The
okay.
goggles, they do nothing. Thank you so
Hasta la
much for
vista,
sending that in,
baby.
Simon.
Right. I'm gonna put the seal
That
back.
was wonderful.
Right. There's going to be a little bit of
Oh my
Billy's
goodness.
replacement speaker noise for a moment here.
Oh my goodness. I am.
Yeah.
So that's what you're doing when I hear banging.
Yeah, I'm putting the lids back on. There we go. Little tap.
With a hammer. She uses a toffee hammer to put lids
Yeah.
back on.
Top tech tip for you, and also, right, hold the lid because you don't want any problems, but turn it upside down, and what you're doing is you're letting all of the paint in the tin now squidge down onto the lid, and then tip it back. That creates your seal to stop it from drying out. There you are.
Seal was a great artist, wasn't he?
Yeah. So there you are. Top tech tip. And now, so I'm just going to finish off here, and we've very, very subtly, and this will all dry, don't you worry, we've very, very subtly weathered all our track.
It actually came out really well. It really did. But I still think Nuln oil is a...
Oh, come on, yeah, if you want to throw about 40 quid at your layout.
That's not what I'm on about. Nuln oil is better for precision. That's what I was trying to say. It's not for widespread use. It really isn't.
But track and ballast, it's precision you don't really need. That you actually want this, and you can see how it's kind of soaking into the ballast.
Yeah, it's
So
starting to spread out far more than the others.
It blends. You see how we blend the clean ballast into the dirty ballast.
I'll tell you what, that is highlighted so much on there.
Yeah.
And also, pretty much dry already.
Yeah.
Contrast and shader, it's so good.
Yeah, although this stuff you may need to leave for the following
For
day.
100,000 years?
No. But then, yeah,
Is it possible for me to reuse that brush, or have you ruined it?
New junction. It says, if Jenny's homebrew weathering fluid leads you to both passing out, I wonder how long the stream would continue for.
100,000 years.
Indefinitely, I suspect.
Indubitably.
But I don't know. Is this useful to people?
I would like to think so.
You know, it's like I'm a big advocate of just, you know, simple and easy ways of doing stuff. And that tin of black paint has done, I think we're up to about 5 layouts. And I barely used any of it.
Wow.
Raymond Lake says, meine Augen brennen und meine Ohren klingeln.
I don't know what that means.
But apparently it's 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Blimey, it's 9 o'clock. Oh, I can't believe.
But
Andy Fryers Junction says, I find it useful. I'm glad. Oh,
good.
It's so nice.
Because we've had a few comments last time we were putting the ballast down. That, can we do more of this? So this is kind of the idea.
So there we are.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the box file layout's coming well. So weathered the track, and if you're worrying about getting paint on the tops of the track, track cleaning rubber is all you need. I'd actually leave that to dry a little bit. I'd come back to that tomorrow. So there you are. So progress on your box file layout.
Yeah.
I'm going to
And
leave
also,
that there.
Meanwhile,
back at the ranch,
because I used the Citadel paints, which are perfect for models, Jenny is almost done. The only thing that I need to do is her hair and her bag. And then we've got
Leslie
Mini Jenny.
Gilpin Railway says, good to see some top tips, Jenny. Absolutely. And OO Gauge Journey says, yes, more, please.
So you're not just in a box opener now.
So, yeah.
Right, we've got one more video for tonight.
Just a box
Simon
opener.
Pitcher has sent us a video saying, a blast from the past in my shed when I was into LGB. Was it Lemon Grosserbahn or something?
Is it Lehman? Is it Lehman? It's either Lehman Grosserbahn or Lehman Gartenbahn.
I'm sure it was Grossen. I'm not sure. The hair and bag are always last. Yeah, because it's where you got the highlights. I love LGB. It's so
Yeah,
chunky
Harrick
and
says,
interesting.
need to go. See you all next week. Take care. And don't forget to
look at that.
hit that like button, consider sharing the stream to social media, and subscribe if you've not already done so. Also, check out the Monday Club wagons if you haven't already got one. Or indeed, if you have got just one, why not get a second one? We've got them in double O, we've got them in O gauge. Do hurry. Stocks are low. Warbler Production says it's Lehman Grossenbahn.
Yes, that's
So there
it.
we are. Oh, they look nice.
They are so nice. I love
yeah.
this stuff.
Also, don't forget to pick up your Monday Club pin badge. We've got
Yes.
links knocking about as well underneath the stream. We've got brown badges, and if you're feeling a little bit frisky, there are a few green badges that
We don't have
left.
any brown badges. They're crimson.
Oh, sorry, crimson. Right. One thing I suggest is that if you're feeling frisky, order 2 badges and then put in the notes, please can I have
There
one of
isn't
them
a
as...
notes.
Apparently there isn't a note.
You can email me and I might be able to put one aside, but I cannot. The reason we haven't got anything there is because I can't guarantee that there's any left.
We have like about 12. They've come in as overs from the factory. It's like, oh, we got these. There you are. So if you really, really want green badges, and DJ K666 says my new pin badge arrived a couple of days ago. They just put my new pun badge. I say. Oh, thank you so much. Andrew Bettis very, very kindly donated $1.99 on the super chat. Thank you so much. Says thanks for another good night.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
But before we go any further, we have to have a message from our sponsor.
We'll be right back after these messages.
The Monday Club is proudly sponsored by TMC, the Model Centre. Check them out at themodelcentre.com. The website features extensive stocks of new models as well as selective pre-owned items where you can track down that bargain you've always wanted. Pre-order with confidence all of the forthcoming models from all the manufacturers. TMC also offer a renumbering and renaming service so you can get the exact identity of locomotive that you want. Why not also check out their value weathering, or go for something incredibly special with their bespoke service where you can choose from a more extensive weathered look right through to custom graffiti either off the peg or to a design of your choice. Check out TMC today at themodelcentre.com and start your model journey.
So there we go. A big thank you to TMC for helping keep the lights on. And
thank you.
After tonight's stream, we have run a bit long, but after tonight's stream, we have your live streaming delectation is continuing with the Cupboard Monkeys All Request Monday Night Live on Game Hammer Classic Gaming.
Stop it, it's not a request.
You'll get a prompt and just click the button and you'll head straight on over and the live streaming goodness will continue. So what are you kicking off tonight with, Monkey of
we're
Cupboard
kicking
Nuts?
off tonight with Ed the Duck on the Amstrad CPC, providing it can get the Amstrad to load. And basically, it's an all-request night.
You're not road testing your Amiga yet?
I was considering it, but I need to actually open it up and make sure that everything's working, because when I moved it, I heard something sliding around.
Right, right. A quick question for you.
Yep.
Did it come with the A520 modulator unit?
A520 modulator?
How are you connecting it to the wider world?
It's got a modified SCART output.
So it's been modded?
No, it's a cable. You can just buy a cable these days and plug it in.
Because it had like a weird...
It did. It used to have the modulator thing, which was always a bit of a bugger if you didn't have much space behind your TV.
Yes. Although they did actually sell a dedicated Amiga monitor that just plugged directly to it.
Yes. And that's what the SCART system these days is playing off.
Fair enough. So anyway, you guys, it's been an absolute honour having your company. As always, we've delved into the world of our sales. Good for the hobby. I think, by and large, there's an element of yes, but with the caveat that, I think manufacturers do have to be careful not to create an expectation of sales. And as long as they can get the balance right, then I think there is definitely a place in our hobby for that. But anyway, until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take great care of yourself. And as said before, please hit the like button, share the stream, and check out the Monday Club wagons. Get yourself one of those while stock's still available. And of course, the pin badges too, which get you some great discounts at a whole range of different locations in person. Do check out the webpage for full details. But take care. Bye for now.
The train now departing is the 2109 service to Butts Farting, stopping at Grove Street Yard, Mineth Tattis, Tattis Newith, Bolton Trinity Road. That unnamed loud that Jenny said had a name, and it turned out it didn't have a name. Eindhoven, Pittsburgh somehow, Boxton on File, Boxton Junction, Huggleton on the Hill, Old Change at 3 Cocks for Lord Hereford's Knob, and then on to Butts Farting. That's the 2109 service to Butts Farting.
If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was gathered there together because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Good night.
Monday Club for everyone. So come on and join the fun. Sniff the bum, yo yum yum.
Oh, you mum must be kicking a bomb. What kind of person are you, Jenny?
I really don't know. Oh, my eyes are starting to smart now.
Yes. That's your fault for doing live layout building.
We're going to do some more, and then we'll try and do something next week. I think we should
I was
do.
really impressed by how well that Null Oil actually highlighted the tiles on that roof.
What I suggest perhaps is we should do the Monday Club diorama build.
Yes.
Actually build a little photo plane. I quite fancy an O-gauge one. I might see what wood I've got hanging about, but.
Well, I still want to build a nice engaged suitcase layout.
Yeah, can I just say, Simon Train's Mother Row Showcase says, thought it was a Sterling single, so why is it sharing the turntable with another loco? One of the things, actually, that the Y7 was used for was putting locos that were out of steam on and off turntables, and it was small enough that it could squeeze on with some of the locomotives. So that is entirely prototypical, but the Cupboard Monkey is now getting lost and going off to do their street. You'll be getting a prompt to head straight on over and join in on the fun. I'm just reaching over because the Cupboard Monkey has hidden the mouse behind a paywall of space.
Squeak, squeak.
Yes. So go on, get lost.
Bye-bye.
Go on, lost. And if anybody's wondering, the leader, which has been going around, it's not the first night actually. A big hello to James Pets. Great to see you. We do approve. So spotting your sheep reminds me of an interesting video from Wool World Scenics where they were demonstrating static grass-like technology for sheep's wool. Yes, you can static grass a model sheep, and it looks like it's covered in wool. I think you use the 0.5mm static grass. One thing, though, I would warn is that white static grass has an annoying tendency to go yellow after a year or so. So do keep that in mind. Yeah, James Pets, Wool World Scenics do a whole range of 0.5mm static grass. But yeah, talking about the leader, it has run a few different days now. It's done a lot of running. I have been kind of stress testing that model. And I'll tell you now, 100% honest, I'm not going to lie about it. It's worked absolutely fine. All the wheels are still attached. It's not overheated. So, yeah, seems all right. So I'm just going to go and check and see if the cupboard monkey is ready for you guys. Sorry? 1 minute. You on yet? Oh, is it messing you about as well? Sorry? Okay. So the cupboard monkey is just about to start going live. So big thank you to everybody who's joined us tonight. It's been really great having your company, and of course, if you haven't tickled that like button, now is your final opportunity to do that. But thank you so much, everybody. Take care. Catch you later, and of course, you will be offered the opportunity to head on over to Monday Night Live or Request Live on Gamehammer Classic Gaming. So get your retro gearing on. But from me and everyone here at Wearyard, you take great care of yourself. Happy modelling, everybody. And remember, Monday Club is the best. It's your online model railway club.